Hey everybody, this is Courtney with Fiber Fox Studios, and today we're going to start on another Mosaic Monday. This time we're going to be working in a multiple of 10 plus 6. So you're going to chain out whatever size project that you would like. Down in the description, you'll find a link to this pattern in the Etsy store, or to the chart in the Etsy store, as well as some different project ideas. And we're going to begin by doing that chain. So you're going to get your chain ready. Right here, I've chained a total of 26 to begin the tutorial because I'm just doing a swatch for you guys. So we're going to begin doing the row 1. You can pause here if you're not ready yet and come back when you are ready to move on to row number 1. But row 1 will start now. For the rest of us, we are going to skip this very first chain that we made. We never count the loop that's on our hook. And we're going to move immediately here into the second chain, doing a traditional single crochet. And this is going to be in an advanced beginner style, so I'm not going to explain each and every stitch in depth. If you're not familiar with this technique of overlay mosaic, you can refer down to the description for a playlist that is full of beginner-friendly tutorials. So we are now going to do the repeat for this entire row. We're going to be doing a back loop only single crochet all the way down here to the last stitch, where we will do a traditional single crochet again. So you are going to insert into that back loop only. So just picking up that one side and complete your back loop single crochet. I'll be referring to these as single crochets on throughout the rest of the tutorial, because I'm going to assume that you guys know that all of our single crochets for the pattern part are worked in the back loop only. You know that you will be working a drop down double crochet, which I'll refer to as a double crochet throughout, which means that we're going to be dropping down 2 rows below, picking up that front loop that's left by us doing these back loop only single crochets. So we're going to pause here, meet back up when you have clipped your yarn and are ready to do row number 2. And as always, remember, very last stitch in the row will always be a traditional single crochet, just like we do the very first stitch in the row as a traditional single crochet. So we'll be back in just a moment to move on to row number 2. Here's what we have after completing row 1. I now have a total of 25 stitches because we skipped that first chain and worked into the second. So that makes my total stitch count for my swatch 25 stitches. So we're now moving on to row number 2, which is going to be exactly like row number 1. We're going to be doing our back loop only single crochets all the way down the row and ending with our traditional single crochet in the very last stitch. So if you want to skip ahead to row 3, if you're joining on to existing work, or if you're just that familiar with the pattern, all of the row start times are down below in the description. So I'm going to join on with color B this time. So row 1 was worked in color A. Now we join on color B and do our traditional single crochet here in the very first stitch of the row to get started on this row. And like I said, we're just doing our back loop only single crochets in each and every stitch. So we're going to work over our tail this time, so we don't have as many. And we're going to just simply do the back loop only single crochet each and every stitch. So you may pause here and meet back up with me when you are ready for row 3, and we will move on to row 3 working in color A. Row 3 begins now. We're working in color A this time. I've joined on and done my single crochet, the traditional one, right there in the very first stitch of the row. Now we begin the repeat for row number 3. Our repeat begins with one of our back loop single crochets worked here in the very next stitch. So we just pick up that back loop only and complete one single crochet. Now we are doing one of our drop down double crochet. So we wrap our yarn, slide down and pick up that front loop and complete our double crochet. Now we're going to do 8 of our single crochets over these next 8 stitches, and that will end our repeat. So we're going to insert here into the very next stitch and complete 1 into the next, number 2, next stitch, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and last but not least, number 8. And that ends our repeat for this row, for row 3. So we began our repeat over here by doing 1 of our back loop single crochets. We did 1 double crochet and then 8 single crochets. So you're just going to keep working that same set of stitches on down the rest of your row. So in this case, we're going to do a single crochet into the very next stitch. So the repeat is starting again now. So 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet, and 8 single crochets over the next 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So now we're here at the row end for me. For the rest of you, if you are working on down a larger piece or project, you're going to keep working the single crochet, double crochet, 8 single crochets over and over on down the rest of your row. And you will meet back up with me when you are ready to do the end of row number 3. So for us here, we're at the end of our row, and I'm going to show you how all of your rows are going to work out. We're going to begin our repeat here at the end of the row, and then we'll finish with our traditional single crochet in the last stitch. But as you can see, everyone will work out the same. You're going to end up with 4 stitches here at the end of the row. I have just completed a repeat, so I need to start the repeat again. So it starts with a single crochet. Then we do 1 double crochet, single crochet. We will be doing a total of 8 here, but we're here at the end of the row. So once we reach where we have just the last stitch left, we know that we're going to finish out by doing our traditional single crochet in that stitch. So if you take a look at the end of your row and the beginning of your row, they're going to match up perfectly. So at the end of each and every row, you're going to begin your repeat again for 3 stitches. And then you just end when you see your last stitch with your traditional single crochet. So that's how all of our row ends are going to work out. So in any of these mosaics that I've taught, if you just keep doing your repeat on down the row, when you get down here, you start your repeat again, and then you end with your traditional single crochet each and every time. And if you do that, you will work out where you have nice even work at the beginning and end of the row. So we're going to pause here and get ready to move on to row number 4. So I'm going to be clipping my yarn. You'll do the same, and we'll be back in just a moment. Row 4 begins by joining on with color B this time. I've done so already with the traditional single crochet in the first stitch. We now begin the repeat for row 4, which begins with 1 double crochet. So we're going to wrap our yarn, identify our next stitch, and slide down 2 rows below, picking up that loop. So we have 1 double crochet, followed by 1 single crochet here on top of the very next stitch, 1 double crochet, now we will do 7 single crochets over the next 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. That ends our repeat. So your repeat for this row, pretty easy. We're going to do a double crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet, 7 single crochets. So you take a look at your work. You're going to begin your repeat again immediately. And we're essentially just framing out around these drop downs from the previous row. So when we did our drop down double crochets in color A, we're just going to work directly around them, framing right around. So for those of you who don't want to count, that's what you're going to need to do all the way down your row. As soon as you see the double crochet, which is gray for me, I know I need to do a double crochet in front of it, a single crochet on top of it, a double crochet immediately after it. So we're going to keep working that exact same manner on down your row. When you get to the end of the row, we're going to show row end one more time, and then we will not be showing that anymore throughout the rest of the tutorial. So we will be meeting back up in just a moment, but I am going to complete this repeat here on screen with you. I'm at 4 single crochets. Got to do a total of 7 to end the repeat. So here's number 5, number 6, and number 7. So you may pause here and meet back up with me when you're ready for the row end for row number 4. We are here at the end of row 4. We have a total of 4 stitches left. We know that we need to start our repeat again for these 3 stitches, and then we will traditional single crochet in the last stitch of the row. So our repeat for this row starts with a drop down double crochet. So we're going to double crochet right here into this next stitch. Single crochet. And we double crochet in the very next stitch. And now last stitch of the row is always a traditional single crochet. So we're just going under both loops is what I mean when I'm saying that. Hopefully you guys are pretty familiar with this, so you know what I mean. And then I chain up 2 and I clip my yarn to bind off. So now we're going to move on to row number 5. Our work is looking very nice. We're starting to see the mosaic work, and we're starting to see our shapes popping out now. So we're moving on to row 5. I've joined on with color A, doing the traditional single crochet in that very first stitch of the row. We are now going to begin the repeat for row 5. And that repeat begins with 3 of our single crochets. So we're working in the back loop only. There's 1 single crochet, 2, and 3. Now we will do 1 double crochet here into this very next stitch. We will do 5 single crochets over the next 5 stitches. So right here, going into the very next stitch, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we will do 1 double crochet to end the repeat for row 5. 1 double crochet. So let's recap that repeat. Our repeat began over here with 3 of our single crochets, 1 double crochet, 5 single crochets, 1 double crochet. So if you take a look at what you're doing, as you will see when we work our repeat again, so we're going to start the repeat for row 5 again. We're going to do 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. 1 double crochet. 5 single crochets over the next 5 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the repeat ends with 1 double crochet. So if you take a look at what you're doing, you're essentially forming this rectangle right here. You're framing out with your double crochets this time around the double crochets from the previous row. So if you take a look at what you're doing, hopefully that'll help you to kind of speed through this, less counting, that sort of thing. So you will pause here and meet back up with me when you're ready to move on to row number 6. Remember, at the end of your row, you have 4 stitches left. You're starting your repeat over for the first 3 stitches of this, and then you always traditional single crochet going under the V in the last stitch. And your row beginning and end will match up perfectly. Row 6 begins now. We're joined on with color B this time. We're going to be beginning our repeat immediately, just as we have been doing. Get my yarn situated. And now we're going to begin the repeat for row 6. We're going to do a single crochet right here into the very next stitch. So right here, 1 single crochet followed by 1 double crochet. So right here, now we will do 2 single crochets over the next 2 stitches. 1 and 2. 1 double crochet into the very next stitch. Three single crochets over these next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. 1 double crochet into the very next stitch. And we end our repeat with 1 single crochet into the very next stitch. So let's recap that repeat. The repeat began over here with 1 single crochet. We did 1 double crochet, 2 single crochets, 1 double crochet, 3 single crochets, 1 double crochet, 1 single crochet. So when you start your repeat over, you're going to be doing a single crochet. So the repeat for row 6 starts with a single crochet. Then we do 1 double crochet. We do 2 single crochets over the next 2 stitches. 1 and 2. Followed by 1 double crochet. Oops. 3 single crochets. 1, 2, and 3. 1 double crochet. And the repeat ends with 1 single crochet. So this is what your work's going to look like. You're going to continue on down the rest of your row, working that exact same set of stitches. So we will be meeting back up when you're ready to move on to row number 7. Remember, end of row, 4 stitches left. So you just start your repeat again for these 3 stitches and then single crochet in the last stitch. Row 7 begins now. We have joined on with color A this time, and we've done our traditional single crochet. So now we begin the repeat for this row, and the repeat begins for row 7 with 1 double crochet, one single crochet, one double crochet, two single crochets over the next 2 stitches, one and two. Now we do 1 double crochet, one single crochet, one double crochet, and the repeat will end by doing 2 single crochets over these next 2 stitches. There's 1 and 2. So we'll recap our repeat. It began over here with 1 double crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet, 2 single crochets, 1 double crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet, 2 single crochets. So you're going to immediately start your repeat again, and that begins with 1 double crochet, one single crochet, 1 double crochet, two single crochets, one double crochet, one single crochet, one double crochet, and 2 single crochets ends that repeat. So please pause here and come back and meet up with me when you're ready to move on to row number 8. If you take a look at what you're doing, framing out again here, and then creating a little square here in between the previous double crochets on down the rest of the row. Row 8 begins now. We have joined on with color B this time. We will be doing a single crochet to begin the repeat for row 8. So row 8 repeat begins now with 1 single crochet. We will do 1 double crochet, very next stitch. Getting all splitty with my yarn. We're going to do 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet, we will do 5 single crochets across this section here. So into the very next stitch, we begin with our first single crochet. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and number 5. And then our repeat will end with 1 double crochet right here into the very next stitch. Oops. So let's recap that repeat. Our repeat began over here with 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet, 5 single crochets, and it ends with 1 double crochet. So if you take a look at what you're doing, hopefully that will help you. When you hit this section right here where you have that square, you're just working straight across, and we're framing around our double crochets from the previous row. So you can pause here and we'll meet back up when you're ready to move on to row number 9. We are back now for row number 9. I have joined on with color B this time, or I'm sorry, color A. Color A, and we're going to begin the repeat for row 9 by doing 1 double crochet. So we're going to go right here to this very next stitch and complete our double crochet. We are now going to do 1 single crochet into the very next stitch. 1. Now we'll do 1 double crochet, followed by 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet, 3 single crochets over these next 3 stitches, 1, 2, and 3. We will do 1 double crochet, and our repeat will end with 1 single crochet. So let's recap that repeat. Our repeat began over here with 1 double crochet, did 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet, 3 single crochets, 1 double crochet, and 1 single crochet to end that repeat. So you're just going to begin your repeat again and continue to work on down the rest of your row. And we will meet back up when you're ready to move on to row number 10. If you take a look at what you're doing, we're doing more framework. And when we get there to the center of that little square we've got going, that's where we're going to be doing the 3 single crochets. So we'll meet back up in just a moment. Row 10 begins now, and row 10 is a very easy repeat row. I have added a stitch marker so that I don't zoom past the end of the repeat. For all of you guys, the easiest way I can explain this row is what we are really doing all the way down the row is a single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, all the way down the row. I'm going to do it in the set for the repeat, but I did want to give you kind of that cheater method on this row. It is super easy. There's not a lot of counting involved. Single crochet, double crochet, all the way down the row. But we're going to begin the repeat to keep in uniform with the way we do the tutorial. So we've joined on with color B this time. And right here into the very next stitch, I am going to do the repeat for row 10 begins with 1 single crochet, followed by 1 double crochet, 1 single crochet, 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 and the repeat will end with 1 double crochet, which I must remove this stitch marker so I can work. The repeat ends with 1 double crochet. So that is the 10 stitches that you're alternating between to complete this entire row. So really, honestly, all you need to do is single crochet, double crochet all the way down the row. As long as you start the row with the single crochet, then your sequence will be perfectly fine all the way down the rest of the row. So you may pause here and come meet back up with me when you are ready to move on to row number 11. But I told you guys this was a super easy row. So we'll be back in just a moment. Row 11 begins now. We're going to be joining on with color A and get started immediately on our repeat. The repeat for row 11 begins with 1 double crochet. So right here, very next stitch. 1 double crochet, followed by 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet right here, next stitch. We will now do 3 single crochets working across this little square here in the center. 1, 2, and 3. We will do 1 double crochet right here into the very next stitch. And our repeat will end with 1 single crochet right here into the next stitch. So let's recap that repeat. Our repeat began over here with 1 double crochet. We then did 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet. We get here to the center of the pattern, we do 3 single crochets, 1 double crochet, and then 1 single crochet to end that repeat. So you're going to keep working that exact same set of stitches on down the rest of your row, and you will meet back up with me when you're ready to move on to row number 12. So the repeat will begin again right here next stitch. Our repeat begins with that double crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet, 1 single crochet. Oh wait, nope, we're at the center. Nope, 1 single, then 1 double. Getting ahead of myself. Now we're going to have our 3 single crochets. 1, 2, and 3. 1 double crochet. And 1 single crochet to end that repeat. This is what your work is going to be looking like. Here's what our work is looking like after completing row number 11. We're now moving on to row 12. So we've joined on with color B this time, and we've done our traditional single crochet in the very first stitch of the row. We now do a single crochet to start our repeat for row 12. So row 12 begins with a single crochet, working in that back loop, followed by 1 double crochet, 1 single crochet to the very next stitch, 1 double crochet, into the very next stitch. We will now do 5 single crochets working over the next 5 stitches. 1, here's number 2, we're doing a total of 5, remember. Working right across that little square in the center. Number 3, number 4, number 5. And now we will do 1 double crochet right here into this next stitch to end the repeat for row number 12. So we're going to recap that repeat real quick for you. So we began over here with 1 single crochet. We then did 1 double crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet, 5 single crochet, so working across this little square, 1 double crochet ends the repeat. So you're going to keep working in that exact same set of stitches on down the rest of your row, and we'll be meeting back up when you're ready to move on to row 13. We've got to get to row 16 to complete the full repeat of this pattern. Row 13 begins now. We've joined on with color A this time, and we're going to begin our repeat for this row by doing 1 double crochet here into the next stitch. So repeat for row 13 begins with a double crochet. 1. Now we will do 1 single crochet right here into the very next stitch, followed by 1 double crochet. We're going to do 1 single crochet here into the very next stitch, and we need to do 1 more into the next stitch, so a total of 2 right there. Now we will do 1 double crochet right here into the next stitch, 1 single crochet into the next stitch. I have split my yarn. 1 single crochet, sorry. Now 1 double crochet, followed by 2 single crochets to end that repeat. 1 and 2. So let's recap that repeat real quick. We began over here with 1 double crochet. We then did 1 single crochet. We did 1 double crochet, 2 single crochets, 1 double crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet, 2 single crochets. So you can keep working in that exact same set of stitches on down the rest of your row, and we'll be meeting back up when you're ready to move on to row number 14. Row 14 begins now by joining on with color B this time. You're doing that traditional single crochet right there in the first stitch of the row. We now begin the repeat for row 14, and that begins with 1 single crochet right here into the very next stitch. 1 double crochet, 2 single crochets worked over the next 2 stitches, 1 and 2. We will now do 1 double crochet, 3 single crochets working over these next 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 1 double crochet working here into the very next stitch, and 1 single crochet right here into the very next stitch to end the repeat. So let's recap that repeat. We began over here with 1 single crochet. We then did 1 double crochet, 2 single crochets, 1 double crochet, 3 single crochets, 1 double crochet, 1 single crochet. So you're going to work that same set of stitches on down the rest of your row, and then we'll be meeting back up when you're ready to move on to row number 15. To start that repeat again, you're just going to begin the repeat with 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet, 2 single crochets, 1 and 2, 1 double crochet, 3 single crochets, 1, 2, and 3, 1 double crochet, and 1 single crochet, ending that repeat, leaving you with the 4 stitches at the end of this row. And you'll of course just restart that repeat again to finish out the row. So 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet, 1 single crochet, and then traditional single crochet going under that V in the very last stitch of the row. And we can chain up 2, clip our yarn, and bind off. Row 15 begins now, and we begin that with starting our repeat, which is 3 single crochets to begin the repeat. So just like we've been doing, we're going to do our single crochet over the next 3 stitches, working in that back loop, and 3. Now we will do 1 double crochet right here into the very next stitch. We will do 5 single crochets over the next 5 stitches. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we will do 1 double crochet right here, the next stitch, to end that repeat. So we're going to recap the repeat real quick. We begin over here with 3 single crochets, 1 double crochet, 5 single crochets, 1 double crochet. So you can start your repeat over again with 3 single crochets and keep working in that same exact manner on down the rest of your row. And we'll meet back up when you're ready to do row 16. And then I will do a finishing row with you guys to even out this design in case you're adding it to an existing project. And we'll talk about how you rewind in the video and move on to do additional repeats to do an entire project or a larger section in a project with this design. So we'll be back in just a moment to move on for row 16. Row 16 begins by joining on color B this time. And here's what our work is looking like after we have completed the first 15 rows of this pattern. We're now going to begin the repeat for row 16, which begins with 1 double crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet, fix that, sorry, and we will do 7 single crochets over these next 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And that ends the repeat for this row. So our repeat began over here with 1 double crochet. We then did 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet, 7 single crochets. So you're just going to work that repeat on down the rest of your row, starting over with 1 double crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet, and 7 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And you will finish your row end just by starting your repeat over for these 3 stitches and then single crochet in the last, just like you've been doing for the entire project, or tutorial I should say. So we will double crochet, single crochet, and double crochet. Single crochet, traditional, into the last stitch. So now we're going to talk about how we will rewind in the video to move up for additional repeats of the pattern, as well as what I like to do to even this out. So if you are only doing 1 repeat of this design in another project, you're going to rewind back and complete row 3 here at the end so that we have an even look to our design. So we'll have this gray in my case. I'm going to finish out with the gray row. For everyone else who's moving up for additional repeats of the same design for a larger section or an entire project, you are also going to rewind to row 3, but you will be working rows 3 through 16 over and over as many times as you would like to complete your project. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. If you did enjoy it, please consider subscribing and leaving a comment down below. A thumbs up always is greatly appreciated. I look forward to seeing you guys next week with Mosaic Monday, where we will be beginning a mosaic shawl. We're going to be doing the Native Bliss shawl, and that will be done as a crochet along. So we'll be working on that project for the next several weeks, 5 actually, together. So hopefully you've enjoyed this one. I will make sure to link down below the mosaic playlist, and lots of extra information is down below as always. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. But until next time, bye for now.